Hey everybody, Tommy G here,
FPJ here.
and we're getting on this. We're catching this flight here down to Mexico. So it
Oh.
should be a nice flight.
Yeah.
It's be good. Not only are we getting out of town, we're getting out of the country.
Yeah.
After that one, it's like the Ramblers, these Texas Ramblers, just got a beat down so bad they're retreating to old Mexico to hide
With their
out.
tail between their legs, yeah. They're gonna lick their wounds south of the border, lay on a beach, have some rum drinks. Just
Yeah.
forget.
Ugh.
Yeah, this was tough. We came in, we knew, I mean, I said it. I don't know how many people agreed with me, but I felt that coming into those two games against the Moose, that, as those two games went, so will go the rest of the season. And I fear that's what it's going to happen. We had to, I was hoping to sweep. I was hoping to sweep and really start to put some distance between us and the Moose. And it didn't happen. The first game we held in, wound up losing by a run, and you think, well, that's okay. Okay, we at least we held strong. We'll win the second one, and it'll be a push. We'll get
Yeah.
out of here with a push. And wow, that was not, especially with Mitch Berry going and the way
Yeah.
he's looked in his first two games. I thought this, okay, yeah, we could win this game.
Yeah.
But boy, I did not expect to see what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I
just
had
been.
nothing to do with it. I was up in the box. You know, that was not
Right,
me.
right, yeah. Well, those guys, man, they suck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's been a nightmare road trip thus far as we're taking off here out of Detroit by Detroit. Smell you later. Yeah, we're just it's tough. Actually, yeah. So Pete and I got our. If you hear some sound effects going on, Pete and I got the laptops out. We're dialed in here for what's going on with the team. The team's looking at some stuff, and we're gonna try and run you through what's going on here. But yeah, it doesn't look good at this point. There was, like we were saying, actually, we got out of there so fast. There was some news after that last game. Um, but we might as well tell you a bit about that, Pete. You want to start us up with? You said something about Corbin Huerta.
Yeah, apparently Corbin Huerta picked up a bad habit. His overall, he's still an A minus, but he gained the trait of being a wild thrower
That's not a
just
trait.
in time for the push to the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah. That's not a trait you want to gain.
No.
Yeah, we had our eye on. We still have our eye on Kalen Porchetto for potential center field infielder outfielder. But we found out that he's also getting tired of all the extra training, trying to get back into this thing. His secondary position is weakened, outfield. So he used to be center fielder slash infield outfield. Now he's just center fielder slash outfield. He no longer plays the infield.
Yeah, that would have been. I still think that would have been a big pickup. I should have pushed for that a little bit more, a little bit harder to have a player. And I think his stats are pretty good. I mean, offensively, I think he's a pretty average player. And to be able to put him in any position, you know, it's
Yeah,
like that would have been should have been we should have pulled the trigger on that. But now he's lost the ability to play infield, so
yeah,
it kind of lowers him. But he's down under 7 mil now. So,
yeah.
do you want to do the player development, or do you want to just go up
Oh well,
to
there's Lackey Luster was getting there.
right?
Yeah, right.
Lecky Luster offended a Moonstars coach and was replaced by Gary
Palomeni.
Palameni. I'll go with that. Gary Palameni. So yeah, Lackey Luster, a longtime player for the Moonstars,
Yeah,
a C-ranked 29-year-old right fielder catcher, with less than he's got poor power, but about a little bit better than average contact. Pretty good speed on the base paths. Less than average fielder with a pretty strong arm. He's got bad jumps, and he's known as a slowpoke. He was making $4,600,000. He's going to be replaced by Gary Olameni, right?
hmm?
The C plus ranked 34-year-old relief pitcher, so they're going up in age. He's about an average velocity, average junk, and average accuracy. He's got little power and little ability to connect at home plate, but he's known as a K neglector with a metal head, and they're going to pay him $2,600,000. So they're going to save $2 million by picking up Palameni for
All
the end of the season.
all right. Let's see. There was another move. Yeah, Alberto Roberto offended a Jacks coach and was replaced by Energy Camacho. So Roberto, 37-year-old starting pitcher with elite fork pitch, C plus rank, really good junk. Good accuracy as well, not much velocity. Roberto was making $5.8 million a year to be a jack. They bring in Energy Camacho, and she's a B ranked 32-year-old starter. Uh, got great accuracy, even better accuracy. Not as good a junk, but a lot more velocity. And so she's also an elite changeup though. So she's going to make $5.9 million a year to pitch now for those Jacks.
Yeah, it looks like Roberto's it got a little bit plussed in junk and accuracy, but that lack of velocity. Whereas Camacho seems to be a pretty average player. If they wanted to pick some development her way, I mean, that just takes her up. You know what I mean? Gets her up. Since she's starting at average, she'll be above average. So
Yeah,
I don't know, but she's 32. So how much do we really want to invest in a 32-year-old player? So
yeah. Well, she may have another 10 years in the league. You never know. All right,
I
player
was gonna
develop.
say I'll leave that for the Jacks. I got my own problems over here in Dallas.
I'm looking at player development. I'm looking at all the positives. There's two positives that are standouts. Like there's the stimulants for Maximilian LeBlanc and a Zucha for Kid Paul. Which one do you think we want to go with? We can't afford them both. The Zucha
Kid ball.
expires sooner.
Okay. Kid Paul. Possible 3 power, which would get him to 77, plus 1 speed would get him to 65. I guess I would go with that, especially since that's gonna be dropping off soon. Whereas the stimulants will be on there for 5 more games.
All right, so we spend $500,000 to send Kid Paul to zoo. What happens? He adds 2 to his power, goes up to 76, his speed up to 65, and doesn't acquire the extra power. But 76 power, 65 speed. Not all that bad. We got 337,000 left. We can afford just that last one. The juicing program for Ina Q. I'm gonna go ahead and purchase that then. His power is gonna go from 36 up to 40. His contact down to 52. He acquires an additional 4 power, bringing it up to 44. And he retains the little hack. Okay, good. All right, and he's super happy. So that's pretty good for
Yeah.
a juicing program for eating.
Kid Paul is an animal.
Yeah.
That's what my headline reads. Kid Paul is an animal.
Yeah, yeah. Do we want to share
Enoch,
these?
you gulped down a box of their favorite juice, and now he's juiced.
Do we want to share these other scores that came across the wire? May as well,
You
right?
can do that if you want. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna read these off as they're coming off our laptops here. Pete, it was the Moose Stars, the B-Wolves. What happened there?
Oh, all right. Well, the Moonstars travel to Phoenix, take on the B-Wolves. The Moonstars take an early lead. The B-Wolves try to come back with a. It's 6-3. Moonstars.
Lockhorns and Hot Corners. Lockhorns 8-4.
Wide loads taking on the Platypi. Platypi are going to win that one 4-1.
Moose Stars, the B-Wolves again, and the Moon Stars won it again, 2-1 this time.
Blowfish travel to take on the Overdogs. It's a back and forth battle, but the Blowfish are going to win it 6-4.
Waxbills and the Jacks. That's a big one. Waxbills start off and end it 7-2.
Sirloins taking on the Wildcats. It's going to be the Sirloins 4, Wildcats 0.
Grapplers and the Wild Pigs. Grapplers beat them 3-2.
The Sawteeth and the Swordfish. It's going to be Sawteeth 10, Swordfish 5. Holy cow, Tom. That was a beatdown. I don't like to see it. Makes me cringe.
What about the...
But if we...
yeah.
You want to run through the league?
Yeah.
All right, over there in the Liberty Conference Eastern Division, the Wide Loads with a record of 21 wins, 11 losses, and a plus 47 run differential, which is the best in the league, have a 5-game lead over both the Swordfish and the Jacks, who are tied for second in the Eastern Division with records of 15 and 15.
Wow, in our division, the Central Division, those Michigan Moose, no big surprise, are in first place at 18 and 13 and a plus 44 run differential, tied for the second best. They've got a 2-game lead ahead of us. Oddly enough, we're still in second place, Pete. We still have a winning record. It's 16 and 15 and a negative 39 run differential, which is surprisingly not the worst.
No, but it will keep us out of the wild card. Down in the Western Division, the Nemesis with a record of 16 wins, 14 losses, have a one-game lead over the Sawteeth, who are in second place with a record of 15-15, playing 500 ball down there in the Western Division.
In the Continental Conference Atlantic Division, the Montreal Wax Bills on top at 19-11 with a plus 44 run differential. They've got a 2.5 game lead ahead of the Fort Lauderdale Freebooters, who have a 17-14 record.
In the Plains Division, the Heaters, with a record of 17 wins, 12 losses, have a two-game lead over the second place Colorado Lockhorns, who have a record of 16 wins, 15 losses. And like I say, they are 2 games behind the Heaters in the standings.
Of course, we got to face another first place team. And then the Pacific Division, it's the San Diego Moonstars out ahead right now. Last year's champs are 18-14 with a plus 21 run differential. They got a half-game lead ahead of the LA Blowfish, who are 18-15. And then what about the wild card?
All right. Well, if we look at the wild card standings right now in the Liberty Conference, the Wide Loads Moose and Nemesis, by virtue of being the division leaders, will have a first place. They'll get a playoff berth. The wild card standings right now, the Ramblers, with a record of 16 wins, 15 losses, have that wild card position. They have a minus 39 run differential, but just behind them, a half game behind them, sit the Swordfish, the Crocodons, the Wildcats, the Sawteeth, and the Jacks. And all of them have better run differentials than the Ramblers do. So
Yeah,
if the season ends and they all wind up with the same record at the end, obviously the Ramblers will miss out. The Ramblers have to
yeah.
try and beat all of those teams.
Got to start winning. Got to do
Yeah.
it. And then the Continental Conference, the division leaders again, Wax Bills, Heaters, and Moonstars, all be in first place to be in. It's the Fort Lauderdale Freebooters who right now have the edge in the wild card. They've got a 17-14 record. They actually, which is this, yeah, they don't even have they're less than a half game difference than the LA Blowfish. So they're going to be working hard. Then both of them have a half game lead at the Wild Pigs and the Buzzards. Only one game ahead of the Lockhorns. It's a tight race in both sides.
That's right. Yeah.
Um,
Coming down to the end, what do we got we got game 32 coming up against the Heaters, as Tom pointed out, the first place team. We got the Hot
yeah.
Corners and the Lockhorns. Lockhorns are playing for a possible position. Then we got two against the Crocodons, who are in our division, the Sirloins, and we end up with the Wildcats. So
These are all big games.
yeah,
I mean,
they're all all of them. You want to try and win out.
yeah, yeah, boy, with those, how many losses straight do we have? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so far we've lost everything on this road trip.
Wow.
It's a 5 game road trip. We've lost 4 straight. And we've scored 6 runs in 4 games.
Yeah.
That's been
While
really,
giving up.
yeah,
Giving up what, 11, 15,
28, 23,
it'd be 33 runs.
32.
Yeah.
32 runs to
To
6.
6. Well, it's something
Oh,
you pointed out. Let's see, I mean, if we're talking team business, the weirdest part is when this team is hitting, they're all hitting.
yeah,
And when this team isn't hitting, none of them are hitting.
yeah. Yeah, there's all offense or no offense. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not out of it. We can still do it. If they hit a slump and all of a sudden they come out toward the playoffs, they could do it. But they put the pressure on themselves. This is really, they didn't make it easy. They've got to win. They may be able to lose 1 or 2 games, but we got to win. We got to win 5 out of 7.
I think with the loss to these 2 games, losing these 2 games to the Moose, I think what winds up happening is we no longer control our destiny.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna need help. And so, like, as I look at the final, we have to be thinking the mindset of we have to win all of these games, because
yeah,
hopefully, and more than likely, the other teams will lose some as well. But we can't bank on that, So
yeah.
we gotta try and play error-free baseball from here to the end of the season. And then hope, like I say, hope we get some help from some of the other teams. But it's yeah, we can't afford to really lose. Like you were saying, maybe one or two, but if we
Yeah.
lose three coming down the stretch, you can pretty. I think we're pretty much out.
All right, 10 minutes left in the flight. Here as we're going to be making our way down into Monterey. Um, so, sign and release. I'm bringing up our stats now. And as far as, um, batting averages, I mean, we're getting the offense from some people. We got John Contreras is not doing well. Um,
No, yeah, and I would maybe even put up the idea of maybe just making Hector Clements the full-time first baseman from this point to the end of the season.
yeah,
He's hitting 316, 11 RBIs, three
yeah.
home runs, you know.
Well, I'm thinking like if we who we're looking at for if you potential if we picked up somebody else. Um, he's one, and I mean Enoch Hughes at 286. That's not bad. Um, but yeah,
No, and he just got a development in his power and everything
yeah,
too.
yeah. John
It-
Contreras is really sort of the offensively speaking, the weak link. But then we've got we have speed issues. Um,
right.
where it's like, well, do we give up somebody who's good at offense for someone who's better at defense? Don't know. We're looking at speed. Let's see if I sort. If I sort by speed. Jay Test is fast. Uh, I can't come to. Oh, that's right. I can't go to. Or more. There's like our slowest player. You got twists. Let's see. So players. Mostly our pitchers are slow. Maximiliano LeBlanc is super slow, but he's a catcher, so he doesn't need to be. Enoch Hughes on. He's on the bench. No McLean. No McLean's our slowest player who plays often. Repo Reeves is out there, but he's a backup. Marcus Marino, John Contreras. So Contreras is a 45 speed. No McLean's 31. So if you're looking at, replacing somebody who's out on the field, except John Contreras plays first base. No McLean plays shortstop. Do we look at shortstops? Or what do we look at, you think?
Don't know.
I mean, we got Caleb Porchetto, center field outfielder. So
Yeah,
he'd have to take place for somebody else in the outfield.
right. And who would we do? Let's
Fast,
see.
80 speed.
He is, which was one of the other things that we liked about him. Repo Reeves. Um, those are all. Yeah, we got Repo Reeves, a Kid Paul, Corbin here to Kaylee Lancaster. How old is Porchetto?
30 something, 34, I want to say.
Okay, he's 34. Swindle. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't. I guess I would go Repo Reeves, but Repo Reeves can play first base outfield.
Yeah,
So can Kaylee Lancaster. Repo Reeves is 28, so we can develop him. He's a B minus. Kaylee Lancaster's 33, so if we were going to move, I'd try to move younger. Kaylee Lancaster's an 82 connection, whereas Repo Reeves is a 74. They're very similar.
yeah,
Lancaster's got a little bit more speed than Repo Reeves, but Repo Reeves is a better fielder with a stronger arm.
yeah. I'm looking at speed now again. Jerry Ronner, starting pitcher. Omari Dorange. Left fielder, catcher, 36. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna sort by speed for the. Okay, so you got Amari Durange, um, left fielder, right fielder, Autumn Shipwreck, center fielder. They're all outfielders, the fastest ones.
They're old too.
Izzy Baker, we don't need another second baseman. Relief pitcher, left fielder, right fielder, third base. Finally get to third base. Elon McIntosh, Maggie Rags, second base, third base, right field, right field, shortstop. Mitchell Havebutter. It's only 59 speed. I don't know. I don't know if we. I guess maybe we don't move because we don't have better options. I mean, unless we want somebody faster in the outfield so they can run down some of these hits.
Well, that's the big issue. But like you were saying, you get into a situation where, like Swindle Heath. I mean, that's the greatest example in the last game. It took Swindle Heath forever to chase down that ball.
Yeah.
And what should have been a single, maybe a double, winds up turning into a triple because it took him so long to get to the ball.
Then you got Corbin
Um,
Huerta on center field.
yeah,
Repo Reeves is maybe the most expendable, but
yeah. Maybe if we had a center fielder who could cover more ground. You got Corbin Huerta and Kid Paul. Corbin Huerta does the 73 speed though, so he can get around. But I think he was designated hitting in the last game.
yeah, when you talk about RBIs, like Heath has 20, Huerta 26.
Yeah.
You know, Repo Reeves has 15.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing too, is you start talking, okay, if you're going to jettison one of these guys, you're losing some offensive power,
Yeah,
and you're doing it just to pick up speed. So then you're like, well, like I said, I'm a little hesitant about pulling that trigger, but we both know it's going to wind up costing us in the long run, because
yeah,
without that speed, like you say, our players are going to. And to be honest with you, I don't really move the players as much as you do. You tend to have them move around, drop back or
yeah,
hug the lines or do it. I just tend to have them you know, play even.
yeah. And unfortunately, look at it. Like our weakest link is probably. We got 2 minutes left here before we're on the ground, and we got to call it. Our weakest link is first base. The best first baseman out there is Ian Hugh. First base, third base, 30 years old, 52 speed, uh, 54 fielding, 40 arm. Let's see if I pick that and I said sign player, and then I did where is this that's when who's our first base? John
Well,
Contreras.
we got Johnny Contreras and we got Hector Clements.
Yeah.
But we also have, like I say, I think we saw Repo Reeves can play first base. Who else could play first base? We saw secondary position. Obviously, it's not their
And we
primary,
would we
but
would with the ion we would lose everything but speed. We would gain 7 speed and we would lose overall power, connectivity, fielding, arm. So it wouldn't make sense to jump Chris. Yeah, I don't think at this point we move.
yeah, and I think that's the other thing too, is we have to see where we're at with positions. Like I said, we got John Contreras and Hector Clements. Both of them play first base as their primary.
Yeah.
And then we have Haley Luncaster and Repo Reeves, both of whom can play first base. So we've got more than enough first basemen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
second base, we got Marcus Murillo and Enoch Hugh. And that's it. Third base, we got Spray Bellamy, and then no McLean can play second base as a secondary. But that's it. Shortstop, all we have is no McLean, and then Marcus Murillo can play short as well.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm wondering. Like I say, do we have enough backups to be able to, you know,
Yeah. We need
Kid
to
Paul and Repo Reeves can both play out anywhere in the outfield. So can Haley Luncaster. So
unless we look for another pitcher. I don't know. I don't know, but we got even though the pitchers we brought in weren't doing that great. Anyway, I don't know.
Right.
We're touching down here now in Monterey. Hopefully, I'm excited to see it on Colores.
Me too. Me too. Hopefully, it's like I say, this kick in the mouth. Hopefully, will spur these guys on to a bigger and better finish.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us on the flight down here. Sorry it wasn't more upbeat, but hopefully we get one win out of this road trip.
Hopefully, we got to. Like I said, from this point on, we got to be thinking W every game. W.
All right. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll catch you at the stadium. This is Tommy G.
And this is PJ, and we're saying, I get out of here. Clear the aisle. I got to get out of here.